Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing the unboxing and posing overview for the Scout Trooper from the Mandalorian by Hot Toys. In this video we'll be doing the unboxing and then we'll do an overview of the accessories the figure comes with, the figure itself, and then doing some posing. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, check out more videos on the channel, and comment down below any feedback, any suggestions you guys have, and yeah, let's get into the unboxing. Let's go ahead and start out with the most crucial component of the unboxing, the box. Looking here up front, we have a picture of the figure, the Scout Trooper, the word Star Wars, and then another little picture of the figure here on the side. Over here we see the word Star Wars, Scout Trooper. This is TMS016. Rolling over to the side here, you can see we have another picture of the figure in pretty cool pose. Might do that one. We'll have to see how it plays out. On the back we have a bunch of information. Feel free to pause and read it if you're into that. Other side we have more words, Scout Trooper, TMS016, and some of his arm from the front. Looking down at the top, let's make sure it's focused. We have the word Star Wars, and I believe it's the same on the bottom. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get this box open. Yeah, one day I want to get a bigger table. Let's go ahead and take the top off of this. Now we can see the slip cover in there. I just have the regular version that just comes with the figure, but of course there was a version back in the day that came with the speeder. Pretty neat. Has the words on there, Star Wars, figure, all that. Not going to read that again. We have the figure himself up on his speeder. I don't see, yeah, there's the bag back there. I don't see Grogu in it, but we all know what happened in the show. Set this off to the side. Go ahead and take the figure out of the box. Set this down here. Let's take this plastic covering off. There we go. Now we have access to the figure himself. He is covered in a bunch of plastic. We'll take all this plastic off of him here in a minute when we lay out all the accessories, but for now, take those loose pieces off. Get you a closer look at him. Looks real good. Well, of course in the figure overview section, take a much closer look. Set them down there. Go ahead and take the plastic off the base. We have all the accessories in here. I'm going to go ahead and take them all out and lay them out. Then we'll get into the accessory overview. Alrighty, so this figure, as you can see, like most troopers, is pretty accessory light. You mostly just get the essentials. But let's start off with the instruction manual here. Shows you where to store his weapon. Shows you where the thermal detonator goes. Had to read that through the camera there. Let's go ahead and set that off to the side. Next, we'll take another look at one of the boring accessories, just some extra wrist pegs. It's always nice when they include these. I haven't broken any yet at the time of filming. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but always nice to have for when that day arrives. Let's go ahead and grab the figure's base now. You can see here there's a lot of texture on it. Feels really nice. And there's two footprints. Doesn't really bug me. I can just have them staying over it or something. On the front here you see Star Wars Scout Trooper. Let's go ahead and try to get this crotch grabber in here on camera. Hopefully I can do it. Let's go ahead. There we go. Got it in there now. Always takes a minute. I'm always worried about one day just snapping it, but hasn't happened yet, so that's good. Let's go ahead and set that down and move on. Now let's grab all the figure's hands here, gather them all up. Let's take a closer look. Look in here. This looks to be a handlebar grip in hand. We should have two of these. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, we have a left and right handlebar grip in hand. I don't have the speeder, but it's cool they include it. Set those ones down. Go ahead and grab another. This looks like, yeah, the trigger hand. They always use two fingers on their blaster for the Scout Troopers, so makes sense. Looks kind of like a handlebar hand at first, but nah, it's just for the blaster. Then we have 2 closed fists here for punching. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at all the detail in here. You can see some, if the camera wants to focus on it. Yeah, we can see there's a bunch of little detail in there. Have some ribbing, some stitching, and a bunch more wrinkles. Yep, looks very nice. Let's grab the figure and look at the hands on him. He comes with 2 kind of relaxed hands, just chilling on there. Alright, let's move on. Looking at the figure's weapons now. We have here what they call the thermal detonator. I am not sure if that's exactly what it is, but it's very detailed. Has a lot of dirt, browns, yellows mixed in there. You can feel the texture on it. We'll go ahead and put this on the figure once we get into the figure overview section. Let's go ahead and grab his blaster now. This one we'll also put on the figure when we get there. The blaster looks very plain. It looks like it's just black. Yeah. Maybe there's like 1 piece of detail on there in the front. Maybe I just damaged it, who knows. I don't know, it's just dust. Well, blaster's not very detailed, but still looks cool, still functional. Fits on his boot. We'll go ahead and do that when we get to the figure overview section. Go ahead and set that back down. And speaking of which, let's move on to the figure overview. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the figure here to kick off the figure overview section. Hopefully the light won't blow him out too much, but it's white light, white armor, so it may happen. Let's first take a closer look at his helmet here. You can see his visor. He has tons of dirt in there. Look at all that dirt detail. Also, going around back, he has a little bit of texture here with a bunch more dirt, just all in every little crevice for him. It's a scout trooper, so he's going to be riding his speed around, getting dirt absolutely everywhere. So it makes sense that he has tons of dirt in every little crevice. You can see here on his chest armor, tons of dirt in there. You can feel all the sculpting. That little piece there feels kind of cool. Looking at his arms, there's tons more dirt. Very nicely sculpted. His hands we already went over. Moving around back, he has this, I don't know if this is the backpack, what it is exactly, but it looks like this comes out. I'm just going to call it a speeder bike battery. I don't know. I don't know exactly, but that's what I'd like it to be. But we have his other arm moving on down to the belt. Around back, this is where we'll install his, what the instructions call the thermal detonator. I need to look that up later to make sure that's what it's actually called. He has some pockets around the side. It's all fabric. Feels very nice. These are also padded, so it looks like he's holding some stuff in there. Grogu's not going to fit in these ones, but definitely looks like he's holding something in there. He has more fabric, more pockets. These ones don't open as well. Going down to his knee pads, a ton more dirt in all the crevices. These boots, I actually really like the feel of. It feels like a raincoat material, but you can actually move his legs around really easily in them, and it doesn't get in the way at all. So I'm a big fan of these boots here. I really love feeling that material. Just the way it kind of bunches up at the bottom looks pretty accurate to me. And then, ooh, we don't have them bumping the camera like that. I was going to attempt to install the thermal detonator here on camera, but it proved to be quite difficult. It's just a little slot in there that slides over the belt, but it took me quite a while, and I didn't think that a third of this video should just be me trying to install that. But moving down here, we have the holster for his blaster. Let's go ahead and grab the blaster and try to get that slot in place on camera. Yeah, there we go. So now that we have his accessories that go on him in place, we can kind of discuss the posing potential, since it's his opposing interview. Since his whole suit is mostly fabric in the joints, he's going to be very posable. You see his arms move out very nicely. They bend very nicely. His head moves all around a ton. And even his legs too. It doesn't seem like anything gets in the way. They bend. Even these boots we talked about. Yeah, there's a lot of posing potential there for this scout trooper. Can't really bend him in the torso much, but when it comes to poses, I don't do that a ton. Mainly Spider-Man, but for a scout trooper here, we should be good. Speaking of which, let's now move on to the posing overview. I went ahead and switched this over to handheld camera mode here, so apologies if it gets a little shaky. For the first pose, I wanted him to be staying on the base so we could show the crotch grabber in action. Have him standing there. He's not fully in those footprints there, just kind of standing over him, which I wanted to show it off that it still works out. Going up here, we can see I have him leaning slightly. So if you don't know the intention, he might look a little goofy, but I wanted him to be kind of leaning over, reaching for his blaster, like he just saw something fishy off in the distance that he might need to take care of. For the next pose here, I went ahead and actually took him off the base, so you can show how well he stands on his own, because I know some people like to pose their figures without using the bases. For me, I usually like to use a base, but it always depends. So for this pose, I wanted to make use of those closed fists. Of course, I don't have a speeder for him to ride to make use of the handlebar holding hands, so it's kind of made it look like he's getting ready to fight. If he was from the Return of the Jedi, he'd be fighting an Ewok right now, but for now he's just kind of getting ready, giving a little punch there. For this pose, I wanted to make use of his blaster. You see he's holding it right there. Hopefully it's focusing good. And he's just kind of aiming it. He's got his arm up. He's off the base and he's standing pretty well once again. I do like the posability to this guy. I am going to do a few more poses. It's just going to be like a little compilation. Then I'll come back in the end to give my final thoughts on the figure. I have the Scout Trooper spin around here in the final pose while I get my final thoughts. This figure is really good. Of course, he's just from the Mandalorian. It's not the version from Return of the Jedi. However, I do really like all the posability of him. His suit's fully fabric, so it made moving his legs, arms, everything really easy. Especially because his armor is actually on there with little straps. So if those get in the way, you can move him pretty easily. The Artillery Stormtrooper I did fairly recently, that one was a little hard to work with because all his armor was over top each other. It kept hitting each other. You couldn't really bend his legs, anything. But this guy, he's really good. I like posing him a lot. I always enjoyed the Scout Trooper look. I think it might be one of my favorite looks for a trooper, just because the way the visor is, and of course they ride speeders all the time, and yeah, it's just a really cool trooper. The blaster, it's small but effective. I really like it because they keep it in their boot. They can just take it out real quick, blast whatever they need to. Yeah, I believe that's most of my thoughts. It's a good figure. If you want a trooper that poses pretty well, go ahead and pick this one up. Scout Troopers are really cool. They're going to look amazing in the display. I'm probably going to move them to where my Mandalorian display is as like a background character. Right now I have the Shore Trooper there, but I kind of would rather have this guy in this spot. But yeah, so make sure to subscribe to the channel, especially if you enjoyed this video and want to see more unboxings and posing overviews. Potentially there might be some posing tutorials coming up. We'll have to see if anyone wants that. And like this video, comment down below if you have feedback or want to see anything else on the channel. I'm still fairly new, especially to making commentary on the figures, so I want to make sure I'm taking any feedback you all have and basically just do what y'all want. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up now, go ahead and get them in the display, and I will see you all in the next video.